Hello and a very warm welcome to yet another edition of The Real Talk. How are you doing? Wherever you are watching us from, thank you so much for making time. My name is Jackie Lumbasi. Our guest today is a banking professional. He's got an amazing story, his childhood, his adulthood, all the way to currently what he's doing as a parent of a child who's able differently. A very special child. You'll get to hear his story. Let's meet our guest. Welcome to the program. Our guest is Ivan Ingabire. He's a banker by profession. The name Ingabire, first and foremost, thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you, Jackie. My pleasure being here.
Glad to have you. The name Ingabire, I thought was feminine. How did an Ivan end up with that name?
Wow, thank you. The name Ingabire in Rwanda, obviously, as you mentioned, sounds feminine.
Yeah,
and
it's actually born by more women.
You're right.
I've never met a man
You're
called
right.
Ingabire.
It's so interesting how I got to own this name. So it started as a child. I was born in the humble village, and I remember in my early education in primary one at my school. So there was this, you know, when you're being called by teachers, they have a roll call.
They have a register, yes.
And they are calling names for different kids. Ivan,
present,
John, present,
absent.
And then I was called out, Ivan, and I came out. I was like, what is your
surname?
Surname. And I was just there murmuring. I couldn't recall my surname.
You forgot your surname.
The teacher was like, aren't you Ingabire? I was like, yeah, because I feared the teacher. And then I saw the teacher writing Ingabire. And from that time, because I feared the teacher, I was like, yeah, I'm called Ingabire. So every other time everybody called me Ivan, I could remember. My other surname is called Ingabire. So how do I find out? So
that Ingabire wasn't your original given surname.
I found out that at my school, there was another Ivan who was called Ingabire, but at upper classes. It was around P6. It was called Ingabire. Probably the teacher thought I was the one. I don't know, but I was in P1.
That teacher was also very confused.
So, amazing. I also didn't know, actually, that this name started from there. So I went on with the name, and no one noticed. Even at home, no one noticed. So I was living with my grandmother. You can understand, she didn't check the report. She didn't check even the name.
Yeah.
So I moved on with the Ingabire. So it was after 18 years when I was born in a Protestant church. So we used to go to church and as a Christian. And so there was a time for confirmation. You know that? Yeah. And then the priest or the pastor asked for our names that are on our baptism cards. And I didn't have the baptism card. So you said, you know, you won't get baptized. Amazingly, I went back and had discussion with my grandmother. I was so sad, you know, I'm not going to be confirmed and all that. And then my grandmom reminded me, was like, you know what? I remember the time we were baptized. That's what I can, that's what I can recall. I said, you were baptized along with this child and this child and this child. So if we could go to the parish and ask for their archives, and we check from that list, probably we can find your name and they can look for your baptism card. That's what we did. I went with my grandmom, asked the priest, we checked in the archives, and what did we find? We find that there was, on the list, there was somebody called Ivan, but it was not Ingabire. It was called Mugisha Ivan Brian.
Oh my God.
So everybody was shocked, was like, so where did you get this name? And I was also equally shocked. And from there, we convinced the priest that actually I'm the one. This Mugisha Ivan brand is me.
Yes.
So they had to help me make another baptism card, now with my real name, Ingabire Ivan. And that's how I got this name.
Family, as something that your grandma had told you about, when time came for you to find a spouse, what were your considerations?
Yeah.
What were you looking for?
Now, interestingly, before we get to that, so I remember one conversation that my grandmother told me that, like I mentioned before, she would point out to some of the men that messed around. And she would be like, if you do this, if you be like the other one, you're going to impregnate ladies around here. And do you know what will happen? Your life will end there, because you start taking care of these children. So who else would really help you out? And she would point out individuals, even in my family.
Yeah.
You
As
know,
you said, the examples
you
were
remember
there.
how the other person messed out, and do you see the consequences? So you don't want to be that. So that one helped me. And I remember at one time when I was in church and my pastor were sharing and were praying. And I remember him telling me, because we were sharing stories, our backgrounds and all that, and we were going to pray. He told me, Ivan, with your background, there is one thing you can never mess with: girls. You can do other things, but with girls, don't mess around, because if you do, with your background, then your life will be messed up. And I was like, and that also answered what actually my grandmother had said. So I kept myself for that until I get married. But also, the church was mostly the important or the foundation, because from the time when I was young, I was always in church. So that protected me more. But also those messages that could always linger in my mind, like, Ivan, you can never cross.
Did you have a list of the attributes you are looking for in a wife or a woman, your wife to be?
Yes. Yes.
What were those?
I did. So now again, being in church, I don't know, somehow it shields you from seeing other things outside. So the only things I knew about a woman was, one, that woman must be in church, or that woman must be serving in a ministry, that woman must be prayerful, you know, that woman must be, you know, somebody who has a family, a background that is, you know, connected to a church in a way. So that is what I was told. And beyond that, I was told, no, don't touch. Don't touch, because, you know, they may lead you to something, because they are not spiritual. That's what I was told.
They will lead you to hell.
Yeah, that is what I was told. And yeah.
It's amazing. And so you get married and you start life, and your firstborn comes. I would love that story.
Yeah. Okay.
Because you also looked forward to being a father, and you wanted to be a model father. You hadn't seen this. You wanted to live as an example of a father that can be present, can be there, a husband that can be present, can be all these things.
Sure. So maybe to take you back, because of that background, and I would always see some of my friends talk about family, their fathers, their mothers, you know, and we see them around, even in churches. In churches they come, you know, as a family. And that was a dream. It was a dream that one day I'll be a father. One day I will have a family. One day I will have a wife, you know, and who walk in the church holding our children, you know. That was... And by the way, in Protestant church, there, I don't know if it has changed, but there are things you cannot do if you're not in a proper family, set up. And so with that background, I really yearned that I should have a proper family so that I could participate in some of the activities.
Continue serving in all the ministries.
In church. So it was a dream. Okay. It was a dream. And as you said, yeah, actually the dream came true because I met an amazing wife in church, who fulfilled all the other conditions. I was like, God, you nailed it.
Beautiful.
You know, it was beautiful. And then the next part was the dream of that baby. Yeah. You know, I was like, God, you've done it. Now I have the wife of my dreams. The next is a child. And a year later after our wedding, marriage, and we had this handsome young boy.
Beautiful.
He was best.
Handsome.
It was the best moment. I remember at hospital crying, looking at the baby. I was like, God, you've done it. Wow. It was amazing.
How old were you? Around what age when the baby came?
20-something, late 20s. Wow. Yeah, late 20s, yeah.
Let's pause there for a minute. We'll come back and continue with the baby story. Thank you for joining us on The Real Talk. The hashtag is The Real Talk. If you have a question, a comment, a suggestion, please use that hashtag anywhere on social media and we'll find it. We're taking a break. We'll be back. Welcome back. This is The Real Talk. My name is Jackie and our guest is Ivan. Ivan, the baby comes. It's a beautiful blessing. You cry as a new daddy. Yeah. And then let's go from there.
Yeah, so that is in August.
And you know, I must say you're blessed. You're blessed because I know somebody with a similar story. Okay. And when now the wife has come and we're looking forward to getting the baby, the baby took 7 years to come.
Oh, no.
7 good years, yes.
Oh, what a
so when somebody tells me these were my dreams, and you know the baby came after 1 year of marriage, I say let's not take it for granted. We give God the glory. So that was a blessing.
Yeah. I'm happy for the family that at last they got the baby. Oh, that's amazing. Yeah. That is amazing. Yeah. So 2016 in August, we got our baby boy. Oh, so amazing, handsome. Yeah. Oh, and that was a dream coming true. And so, as new parents, you can understand.
Yeah,
so
I know.
We did everything that we could do for a child, and beautiful gifts from different people. We enjoyed that season. Yeah. And 1 year later down the road, this baby was very calm. He never cried. You know, this thing they tell parents, you know, you need
your
to wake, you not sleep. So this baby would just put her on the bed and he will sleep.
The whole night?
The whole night.
Wow.
During the, it's just the mother that would just come, wake him up. 1 year later, the baby is walking and, you know, everything was okay after 1 year. So when, you know, we are curious as parents, you know, 1 year later, after 1 year, 1 year later, and we are looking for his first words, you know, murmuring here and there, and we are not really seeing that. And the baby is quiet, and but you know, people are coming in, like, no, don't bother. Yes. This kid.
Children grow at different
So we would just put him there, he would sit, and he's quiet. And we thought, it's normal. This baby is calm. Just leave him, you know. So 1 year down the road, everything is okay. But 1 year and a half, we are feeling so, you know, what is happening? The baby is not speaking. But people would say, calm down, he will speak. So 2 years, still the same. And at that time, that's when some people are coming in, I'm like, but you know, at 2 years, a baby should be calling dad. Baby should be calling mom. At 2 years, nothing. But we noticed at the time, he would only do humming, some little humming, just whenever he is agitated or he wants something, he would do some humming and all that, and it would help. But no particular sound that you would really point to. Yes. So now we started asking around. our parents, some parents were, no, don't bother. You are also like that. You know, when you are young, don't bother. But we're asking different people. And
because you feel like the progress is slow.
It's now becoming
things,
slow.
yes, the things a baby should be doing at age 1, age 2, and we're not noticing.
Exactly. So, and then the humming is now it's increasing, but we are not seeing the sound like you can really notice. Then 2.5 years around there, so people advised friends and were like, you know, please take him to school. Because seems like he is around here, and when you take him to school, he will mingle around with other kids, and you know, he will speak.
The words will come.
We will come. And yeah, we took him to school, somewhere closer to where we are staying. And
did it help?
First time didn't help. But one other thing we noticed, for the first 2-3 weeks, this baby was crying throughout. So the teachers...
And this is a baby who never used to cry.
Yeah, exactly. So we've
crying.
moved him from this environment he's used to, and then we've taken him to another new environment, and he was crying.
Yeah.
So first week, the teachers were like, you know, oh, bother, it happens to
children.
Change of
environment.
Change of environment.
He'll come around.
He will come down and all that. 1 week later, it was the same. The baby's crying. And the teachers would tell us, you know, actually, he's not even eating. 3 weeks, it was actually the same. Oh. So the baby, we started noticing even he's becoming weak and all that. But of course, we were like, yeah, let's keep trying. But he was crying. But this crying was unusual because we now realized actually it's becoming different and violent.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
He has started becoming violent in a way, on the way he was reacting to things and all that. But, you know, this is 2 years, almost 3 years. And what else do we do other than taking him to school?
Surely.
So, but what?
At that time, you have not seen any specialists?
No, no, but we're at school. So some months later, it's actually the teachers that are now telling us, you know what? We're noticing something different. This child, most of the times, he's holding his ears. This child is not associated, and at this stage, he should be associating with other kids, he should be playing around. This child should be, you know, this and this and this. And they were like, maybe you need to check him. I don't know, take him to different doctors. Let's see, let them check the ears if he has the problem. And maybe, so we visited different hospitals around here and different doctors, and they were checking the ears, they were checking the eyes, they were checking the mouth, you know, even this thing in the mouth. And the child was normal. But every other day, this child was changing.
Getting worse.
We're getting worse, you know, throwing out tantrums and all that. And then we're like, what is happening? So at this same school, no, it's one of the hospitals that we visited a specialist. And this specialist advised that we should visit special schools that have autism centers, so that these specialists check.
And we have those schools in Kigali?
Yeah, we have few schools. Of course, he guided.
Okay.
And it was my first time hearing about autism.
Oh.
So I was like, what is autism?
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's okay, just try out these specialists.
They will give you more details.
They will give you more details if
Yes.
this child maybe is autistic. And then we are coming back, but we don't know, we don't understand what is autism. And now we are, hey, you know, internet, we are, what is autism here and there. Oh, we are now finding out worse things. And
the things you were reading, were they the same things that your child was
exactly, exactly. Most of the things.
Most of the things were there, and you're seeing them on...
Holding ears, you know, throwing out tantrums here and there, crying, you know, not socializing, you know, holding on some stuff, you know. He would hold to some stuff and would not leave them. And would hold the stuff for many hours. If you try removing this stuff from him, then you know,
he will cry.
Cry. And if you change the environment he's used to, like now, you know, as a family, he would want to go to church. The moment he hears the sound of people singing, we will cry throughout, you know. So now we realize all these things. Oh, we're like, oh, actually our child maybe has a problem. But the worst thing is not that. It's what you read from the internet. It's like, this child might not be normal. This child, you know, might be this and this and this. Then the world is falling on us and we're like, no, this is not the dream we had.
At what age then do you establish what the real problem is, and what sort of interventions do you now begin to go for?
So again, we thank God that at that same school where we were going at the time still has that special intervention center for autistic children.
How old was the boy by that time?
3 years and a half, around there.
Okay.
And the teachers now, the director of the school is advising, you know what? Let's do an assessment. So before they confirm, there is this process a child goes through, the assessment process. So it was a 2-week assessment, and they have different specialists, occupation specialists, speech and language specialists, special education. So they come and do assessment for this child and then come up with a report. So at first we were hesitant. We were like, no, our child is not autistic, it's not that. Yeah. You know what we did? We visited the center to check. And when we checked the children, they were like, no, it was a denial. It was like, no, our child can't be that.
No.
But we were like, let's do that. Let's do that test. Because the director, thanks to her, she insisted that do it for free. I will just no payment. Whichever the report comes out,
I will not charge you, and you will decide.
So we did that for 2 weeks, and the report came out. We had to sit with the specialists. They told us, you know, your child is this, and this, and this. It was confirming everything, and they prepared us. We're like, yeah, this child, if you really want him to progress well, you need to now roll him to this early intervention center.
Yeah.
It was hard. It was hard. It was hard, one, because when you look at the children in the center and what you're reading from the internet, you're like, no, this is not the dream we had. This is not the dream we had for our child. And this is our firstborn.
Yes.
This is our firstborn. And I would reflect back into my past. I was like, no, this is not what and even my wife as well, you know. And the problem is because, you know, we don't know this information and we are all researching. Sometimes you're not talking to each other.
That's right.
The other one is researching from
getting information from whichever corner.
The other one is, and when we come back home, we are just looking at each other. You don't know what to tell her. She doesn't know what to tell you, but you're just looking at each other depressed.
Did it cause some friction between the two of you?
Yeah, somehow. Because, you are angry at yourself. I don't know for what reason. And she is, and probably you ask for something and she may throw out somehow. You may also, but it's out of that frustration, you understand. But it's now that, recent that we realized, oh, that was coming from that frustration. And we wish at the time we had people who understood that stage to help us, you know, to prepare us or to tell us how to go about it. But
what you didn't have were people to help you through that time.
We enrolled the child to this center.
Yes.
And for us, we thought it was just a 1 month or 2 month process. So we thought, 1 month. So.
And you're thinking he will be fine?
Yeah, 1 month you should come back, because they told us, we will help this child, because this center has special people that sit with the child and, you know, help them. So
and they were assuring you that it was curable. It was a condition.
Yeah. Well, they would not assure you, because from what you read from, they would tell you, we will do our best. And from what you read from the internet, some will tell you, it works. But then, because you are so curious, you end up falling for the negative side. And every day we would check on the teachers, ask them, we are not noticing any change. I said,
you're waiting for the first words to come.
Exactly. Guess what? This child, yes, was in the center for over 3 years, 4 years, and the first word we got from him was when he was 5 years and above, 5 years and a half. That's when he mentioned daddy. Oh my God, that was the best day we had. Called daddy. We called the teachers. The boy has called me. The boy has said, dad. I called my wife. The boy has called dad. Can you imagine?
5 and a half.
5 years. But the rest of the other time he was just humming.
Yeah.
Humming. Other issues he had, he would not sleep. Can you imagine? We would have energy that even when you're going to sleep, you're tired.
The guy is fully awake.
He's awake.
His day is just starting.
You sleep, and he's humming at night. Not just humming, but loudly.
And I think that's common among autistic
exactly.
children.
So you wake up at 2 a.m., the boy is humming. And you can imagine, of course, for husbands, sometimes we hold ourselves.
Yes, but mothers.
Imagine the mother she would cry sometimes, you know, humming at night at 3 a.m. and would just sleep for a few hours, you know. And then sometimes throwing things, you know, when you disturb him. And, you know, sometimes, most of the times, of course, with that child, you will not attend some of the events that have children, birthdays, and all that, because you don't want people to. Sometimes, we had tried, of course, taking him for birthdays, but every time we would change an environment, that would be crying and throwing out.
There's no party for you.
Exactly. Then we would pack and go home.
The first words come, how is the boy today?
Wow.
How old is he now?
So he's, in 2 weeks' time, he'll be making 10 years.
Wow.
10 years.
And so it's been 5 years of you witnessing progress and seeing this testimony.
Exactly.
Those 5 years.
Yeah, so...
How have they been? Where is he now?
And I don't know what happens. So thanks to the specialists. So when actually mentioned that first word, so we called the teachers, told them, and I don't know how, they built on that. And they started helping him. And 2 weeks, 3 weeks after that, he started mentioning other words, other sounds.
Wow.
And we started building from there.
Okay.
And somehow the sounds came out. And part of the therapy, there was special needs education. And now that part, it's where they helped him with education, communicating. There was also the speech therapy part and the occupational. So they would help him. And 1 year down the road, he was improving. He could have 2 words. Then after that, 3 words, 4 words and all that. And he started making a sentence.
Wow.
A sentence. That is, after 6 years, he would make a sentence.
Make a sentence.
And from there, one other thing he would not now write. So with writing, his hands was a little bit shaky, so they would now help him with writing. So you can imagine, sometimes we would ask the school to integrate him to the mainstream, the school.
Yes, get him away from the special group.
Our child, now that he can talk, please integrate him to their...
But they would say no,
be patient.
take it slowly.
At one time we insisted, and maybe the director was like, I think, let's try it. Let's take him to the other school. We took him 1 month down the road, it didn't work out. The teachers were like, no, we can't handle this. I think he's too much. He's running around, he's making noise and all that.
Gosh.
Oh, we had to take him back to the center.
Yes.
That was also another phase. We're like, now, we thought actually he has made it. We thought he can write, we thought he can maybe have a conversation, but here it is.
Can't.
So he went back the second time, and that's the time when we said, you know, we'll have to calm down. We'll have to accept. Let's not live in denial.
Yes.
Let's not live in denial. Let's accept that actually our child really needs help.
Exactly.
So,
and allow it to take as long as it will take.
Exactly.
Because that denial was making you rush the process.
Exactly. But in that process, I think we had to also integrate ourselves in and become part of the process. So every day would go to school, ask the teacher of the conversation, what is the improvement, what is the new change of notice, so we go, so that we can build on that at home, and that also partly changed the way I've now become in terms of becoming a father now, because I had now to sit down and make this child my goal, you know, and intentionally sit with him, walk with him, and this has changed him and made him a better person today. Wow. So he's now he's going in grade 4. In normal circumstances, he should be in grade 5, but he's going in grade 4.
Yes.
1 year behind, but I'm grateful.
But you're grateful.
I'm grateful. There's so many other things he's able to do that I never thought actually would do. So I'm thankful. And
he talks normally when... Yes. I want you to tell me if he talks normally, and when the sibling came, how was he, you know, as an older brother? How did he react?
So the sibling came in, and I really thank God for the sibling, because he's also he's one of our eye opener, because when he came in and we now noticed his changes and how he reacts to things. Or now it informed us on how we should help this one, because before we didn't know how to compare. So now we realized, oh, this second born is doing this. This one is not doing that. This one is doing the opposite. So now we are like, oh, actually now this one is behind. We need to help here. And that is how this second child became a blessing. And also somehow God helped us, and this becoming, the second child became his guiding angel. Wow. He would be the one taking care of him, telling us, you know, my brother is doing this. Can you know, he was his guiding angel, even up to today. Even when at school, he's always looking up to him. So
you know, that's amazing. I'm picturing this child who used to throw tantrums, and I'm thinking, God, had the second born come back then, maybe they would have thrown this one to the wall. Yeah. But here you are saying he's his guiding angel.
He was his guiding angel.
He takes care of it.
Guess what? One thing, at 6 years, this boy got lost.
Our special boy?
Yes.
Yes.
I was at home, inside the house, working on something. And somehow in a minute, because, you know, they are over running around and all that, somehow, I don't know, we forgot to cross the gate, and the boy
walked out of the compound.
And somehow, we don't know what happened. Few minutes, the other second boy came running. And as young as he was, yeah, my brother is missing, he's missing. Came running around, I was like, where did he go? He couldn't talk, but he just pointed out. They say he passed here, he was here.
Goodness.
So we ran. I ran after him. I couldn't find him. So because with their energy, and they have this memory of places they've gone. They have memories. Okay. So he remembered somewhere he has gone. But do you know that place? It's at school. Oh. So probably, I thought later, that he was running to school. So he told me, he has gotten lost, you know. I came running, but at the time, I couldn't find him. So I used to walk them around where we stay, so that they get used to the place.
Yeah.
So I thought maybe...
if they ever get lost, they will find their way.
He will rotate and come back home. He never came home. I ran out and got the car, ran around the entire village. You couldn't...
Did you go to the school?
No, it never crossed my mind.
Okay.
So I started now calling in like neighbors to come and help me, different people. Now they came, so many people, we started moving around, and we never found the boy.
Oh my goodness.
And you know what?
How many hours was he gone?
It was around one hour, 2 hours. And this is a child that 6 years and above who could not talk. Yep. The only words you could only mention is daddy and mommy. He didn't know our names. So that was so depressing again, because we didn't know how to find him. Yeah. So, but do you know, this also was something that reminded me how God loves these children. Because at the point where I had given up, I'm like, I don't know where and to start from. Everybody had helped me. So the next part was to announce. And guess what? So my wife was not at home. I called her somewhere. She had visited a friend, called her, you know what? Our child had gotten lost. So, you know, mothers, she came running, driving, and guess what? At a point where we could not expect, she's the one who got her.
Oh.
In the middle of the road, main road.
Oh my God.
Walking, and the cars almost knocking him. And you know, she was also driving fast, and she found him in a place where we could not expect. And there were so many people around, gathered around the boy, and they were wondering, where do we put? The boy couldn't speak. At 6 years and a half,
was he crying?
Speak. No, at the yeah, he was crying. He was crying and he couldn't speak. So people were now discussing, where do we take the boy? And the wife somehow appears and stopped the car, came running. It was God. And as she came running, so the boy noticed her. And also the boy came running.
Oh my
God. The people were like, yeah, we'll. And the people were like, who are you? Of course, she was also shedding tears, and the boy came running, and she's my boy, she's my. And the other people were like, how? You just came.
Exactly.
Here. You just. But I think later they realized, you know, there was this connection.
Yeah.
There's this connection.
Be obvious.
And they gave her the. And you know, she had traveled. He had walked around 8 kilometers from home. They got the boy in Nyanza. That Nyanza center, close to the memorial site.
He was on his
way. He was just walking, but in the middle of the road. Imagine God guiding. So that also reminded us as parents that God knows these children. Yeah. He knows them, and He takes care of them. So you no matter how you want to be as a parent and thinking you're worried, you know you must, but God takes care.
Leave it to God. Sometimes just leave it to God.
So with that, we've been there. We worked with the teacher, the specialists, and this is a child now who is able to do so many things. He's now integrated in the main school, doing amazing in academics. Academics, a little bit behind, you know, because he's not that, of course, top performer.
Yes.
But we are grateful.
For whatever he's able to do.
Exactly. But he does so many other things. So
has he found a sport that he loves?
Exactly. So this boy, he's not the best in academics, but he's the best artist. Not only in his class, but in the school. Wow. So I love the school. It has that those special areas now for art room. And the boy, every time he has a break, he runs to the art room. So we pick him every other day, and we find him in the art room with the teacher, drawing things. He has art pieces in the room around, the best art pieces. And the teachers were like, man, he is the best. You'll
share with me images of some of the paintings that he's done.
And so they've told us so many other things. He's disciplined in the school because they helped him. So he's disciplined. He's this person you will orient on something, and so he loves drawing. He loves designing. At home, that's what he does throughout. Whenever he has, so we are the ones who are stopping him. He can draw anything. So he will come here and look at your talk show, and he has this mirror, like a picture. He will just look at it just once. And he will go there and draw it and give it to you as it is. They're amazing. So recently, I learned also this thing that actually we can orient these children in so many other things, and they become great. And I love the show you had with the panel. You had
was that Martine?
Yes, Martine. So she was talking about things. Now, when I watched that, I related.
Yes.
That we can orient these children, and they become so great in so many things. So of recent, we're thinking with my wife, you know. So this child is good at designing and drawing, art and craft and all that. But is it the only thing he will do? So we asked the school, you know what? Let's enroll him to swimming club.
Yeah.
Let's see what he can do. So we sat him down, talked to him, and said, would you love swimming? Say, yeah, I love swimming. We took him, enrolled him, and we didn't know he would love that. Yeah. So 2 weeks down the road, I went to school only to find the kid diving.
Oh my goodness.
So I asked the coach, I was like, when did he start diving? The coach was like, I thought he knows how to swim. I said, no.
He's just learned how to swim.
He said, guy is amazing. So he knows how to swim. In just 2 weeks, he was swimming, you know.
So these children are extremely brilliant.
They are smart.
They are smart.
And
just expose them to something, let them love it, and they will excel.
Actually, that is what most of the parents with autistic children don't know about. That actually now we have the responsibility to orient these children in things they can, in their future. Wow. Because we don't know, no one has told us, you know. So if we can learn that and say, and because they have this memory and they can stabilize on one thing at a time, you can make this child who you want him to be.
They can be anything.
He can be anything. Imagine you put this child in a room full of scientific stuff. This child can do stuff.
He'll build a robot.
Exactly. He's different from the other children, because my other kids now, they will be running all over.
But this one focuses on one thing.
So you as a parent need to be there, work with this child, orient him, help him, and he will become the best. That's the amazing part of it. So
your experience, parenting this child, is it what inspired you to start that program, the Man Enough?
The Man Enough
initiative.
Well, the Man Enough, this Man Enough program started in the church, and at one point I was like, yeah, I could extend this to workplace. So I introduced it at my place of work, and I'm thankful to the management that they embraced it, accepted, and we started the program.
What do you do when you come together?
Men talk about issues. Men talk about family. We talk about being there for your family, taking charge, taking your responsibility, you know, understanding that family is your main responsibility as a man.
Yes.
And also discussing the consequences of you not being there. And you leaving these things to women, taking care of children, and all that to women, the consequences it has today. Yeah. So the leadership, you know, understanding that you are the first person to teach these children, being their role model. And being their role model is not having the titles at work, but you being there. So
it's not having the titles at work, it's not paying school fees and paying rent.
Exactly.
It goes beyond that.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm happy that now it has been blessed at workplaces, and so many companies want to enroll, and it's something that I feel that if it's blessed will help the men. I have now that love, and that's where I got the hunger for men, to help men understand the things, but also for children, because I now have this eye of looking for the children. Whenever I look at the children, I'm like, for a child, I'm like, yeah, these signs this child is exhibiting tends to something. And it helped me because at church now, I joined the ministry, the children ministry, because I wanted to be actively focusing on these children. Just in case I find a child with these signs, I could help here and there, because I understood that some parents don't understand. And for you to help this child, you need to help him or her when he is young. There are these signs you can't really help when the child has grown. And because we are in an environment where most parents don't know, you may find out when it is too late.
That's true.
And so it's on my heart that at least if I could help one child.
Ivan, when these things happen, especially in our African families, you know, when there's no child, it's the woman who has a problem.
Sure.
We're not conceiving because the woman has a problem.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, when a child is born without limbs, I know a woman, I met her many years ago, gave birth to a child without limbs, the husband scattered, disappeared, because for me as a man, there was no way possible that I could bear a child with no limbs. Exactly. So go find the father of that child. Exactly. So a scenario like yours, the child is born, they're autistic, you get to find out, did you ever at any point in your life look at it as your wife's problem?
Never, never. It never crossed my mind. And thankfully, well, I was raised in a Christianity family, so
that helps.
But you know one thing.
Yeah.
You know,
although these things that I've mentioned
yes,
even happen even in Christian families.
But along the season, you find one or two people that will come in your ears and say, you know what, maybe did you notice somebody who held this baby like this? Or did you notice in some of the families, aunties and, you know, and these stories will come out.
Yes.
And if you're not strong enough to be in your faith, then
you'll start looking elsewhere.
You'll start looking elsewhere. But thankfully, we were strong in faith, and we have this group of people that we pray with in a cell, family that help us. So it didn't really bother us so much, and it never crossed my mind that it could be my wife's
Your
problem.
wife's problem, you know? Yes.
Or if it could, why would the wife not say it's
that
my problem?
But men have this thing about them.
But in our traditional family setup, yes, it happens. In my village, if I call, it would happen. Yeah. So if a child comes out like that, you know, sometimes this autism thing can even be severe. And the child may come when he's physically disabled and all that. Yeah. So most of the times in the village, the husband will marry another wife and say, you know, it's your problem.
Yep.
You know,
yes. Or they'll even call it witchcraft.
Exactly.
You know, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ivan, is there a question you wish I had asked as we edge towards, we're almost ending the conversation?
I have two questions. I would ask our society in Rwanda, do we understand what autism is? It's a question. Do we understand this? Because if we don't understand it, then isn't it true that maybe out there are children who are now victims? Isn't it true that there are families that are being affected? You know, there are husbands and wives that are living in, you know, in a frustrated environment because they don't understand. Now, my question is, is the awareness enough? Is the awareness enough? My other question, who should do that? And it's a question out there. Is it the Minister of Health? Is it the Minister of Education? And if it is the Minister of Education, I am asking myself, how can we have inclusive education for all, you know? Because there are few schools for autistic children, but there are very few. But what I've noted is they've mainly focused on special needs. And I don't know if we have equipped specialists in these schools, you know, to help them now in speech, in occupation, and probably, I don't know that, so, you know, so we need all this awareness. In Ministry of Education, do we have this conversation happening? And if yes, because this is all over the country, do we only have to have these special schools, or we need this to be integrated in all schools, you know, so that it's not just special schools for these children. It should be in all schools. There should be teachers, special teachers in all schools. At least one teacher. Even if it's one. Even if it is one. There should be this teacher who is trained. That what if there is a child who is lagging behind, who is having these delays? How do we help him? Because I don't know if in all our schools we have teachers who can help. So it's my concern that I have. It's a question I have for our ministry.
Thank you
How
for
can we
raising
help? How can we have this conversation? How can we train these, all the teachers? How can we ensure that we have these specialists in all the schools?
And how do we help the parents?
Exactly.
You mentioned it.
How do we
help the parents? Because the
you know?
parents need help as well.
So to now parents, what do we do when you find yourself in that situation? What do you do? Because probably you might not know. You might, be there, we are running up and down, we are looking for how we support our family here and there. But somehow you notice this with your child. Where do you start from? It's also another question out there.
Yeah.
So awareness is needed. But now with all the centers we have, maybe there are more they need more platforms to discuss this more and more so that these parents get to know how to help, where to start from when their kids are still early. Yeah. Thankfully, I was able to have that support. But what if I was in an environment where I didn't have people, even that school to guide me? What would have happened?
Yeah, where would you be today? Where would your son be
today? It's today that I notice now some of the people in my early childhood that exhibited such signs and were not helped. And today, these children are just there, they were like, this child. One last thing I would like to also tell parents. We call these children special. They are special children, But I also want to tell parents that you're also a special parent. Because for God to allow you to have such a children is because God trusts you. He trusts you that you can take care of this child. Yeah. He trusts you that you are able to, orient this child. So other than sitting and you are lamenting and all that, just know you are a special parent. And
taking care of a special child.
Taking care of a special child. And then when you go out, say, God, thank you for making me this special parent because you trusted me with this child. I commend these parents because I know of someone I know that has a child, a family that has a child who is now physically, this disabled, the autism that is severe and all that.
Yeah. Severe and physical.
And this is a child you will not easily go out with, but you are there. And what amazing thing that I noted on these children, these parents, when they go there, they are the ones inspiring others. They are the ones, they're smiling and encouraging and telling people, you can do this, you can. I'm like, oh. And not until I visited them and looked at the child, I was almost shedding tears. I was like, this is a parent who is encouraging
the rest of us.
Exactly. Yeah. So this is a parent who has understood that I am actually a special parent.
That's right.
So this is what I would put it, how I would put it out to parents with such children.
Ivan, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. We hope to see you next week. God bless you.